them, resonate with them. Sorry about the bleeping there, that was another recording starting. That those experiences really begin to resonate with them. So yeah, so just take whatever experiences you take from it and just let it settle into your unconscious mind, so as that you can maybe find different ways or different ways of doing things. I don't know how that will be for you. It'll be your own unique experience. And I've just got a couple of messages coming through. Sorry about this, guys, via Facebook, that it's saying that they're trying to log in and it's saying that the event was over. So I'm just going to quickly drop these two lovely ladies a message and let them know that there is a new password. So bear with me. Excellent. Right, so where were we? Yeah. So what I want to do is just to kind of talk a little bit about the theory. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'd much rather spend the time taking you into this trance. But when we want to understand our consciousness, it's worth recognising that how we live our life, we live it in varying degrees of conscious awareness. And there's often a great deal of information hidden within us at a deeper level of consciousness. It's what I would call the unconscious mind. And when we're able to access those deepest parts of our consciousness and then extend beyond that to a much wider creative consciousness, almost like a quantum field, and we can call this many different things. Some people will call this a spiritual experience, other people will call it energy. You know, everyone has different labels for it. I like to think about it as a spiritual experience. But for you, you'll understand it and experience it in your own way. And when we're able to tap into that, then we open up to a whole pool of resources that are normally completely hidden from our view. So it's important to understand this, that when we are working in altered states of consciousness, we can gain access to all these different things in a way that we've maybe never had access to do before. But in order to do that, we do need to learn to identify with the different levels of our consciousness. And by doing that, we can create this new route to accessing and altering our own state of consciousness. And we then begin to awaken. And that awakening will enable us to transform, problems, excuse me, into solutions. So it's worth imagining that, when you're accessing the deeper resources of your mind, think of your mind as being split up into 3 levels, kind of metaphorically speaking. I know there is only one mind and all of that, but I like to think about our mind in 3 levels. And how we're working with our mind in altered states of consciousness is we're working with it to access these 3 different levels. We're accessing our somatic mind, which is our body mind, our cognitive mind, which is our mind that stores all the logic and knowledge, and then our creative mind, or what I'd like to call our imagination or spiritual mind. Some people might, as I say, call the soul or a quantum energy or whatever. But so if you begin to be aware and start to imagine yourself experiencing this world, the world that you live in this way, then you'll get a much faster access to these deeper levels. So it's the interplay of each of these different aspects that actually give rise to our own experiences in the world. And what I find is when we disconnect from one or two or all of these parts of ourselves, that's when we begin to experience problems. When we're only integrating on, say, one level, and to be honest, most people are. Most people are purely working from the logical cognitive mind and forget to tune into the other aspects of their consciousness. And that's mainly because most of our programs do actually run in our cognitive mind. So when we're focusing in everyday life in this aspect, in this one mind, what can happen is over a period of time, if we're experiencing a lot of stress or we're coming up against a lot of challenges, that part of us can become destabilised. And then we can enter into a state whereby it's very difficult to access resources. However, if we're fully integrating all aspects of our mind, we can naturally change our level of consciousness and enter into different states whereby we've got new resources available to us and new levels of energy available to us, all of which can help us deal with some of the most difficult experiences in our lives. But when we're locked out completely to the different levels of consciousness, we can find ourselves going into what I call fight or flight. And that often results in the development of symptoms like stress or depression, or even physical symptoms like migraines and maybe sore backs, all sorts of different things. So it's quite good to begin to get a sense of when we live in only one mind, when we aren't taking the time out to connect creatively within ourselves and access all these minds, most of our breakdowns and problems are actually as a result of only living in that cognitive mind. So being able to access this state will make such a big difference to you. You will be able to open up to new resources and just let the flow of energy and balance return to your life. It's a wonderful resource to have. You know, altered states of consciousness can really give us many gifts, but it's up to us to open our awareness and to work within the field of the creative consciousness. We really need to take the time out to do this, and it can only be done by going beyond all the content of that logical mind and moving into a space which is content free, where it's almost like there's no words, or it's the words beyond the words. It's almost like we're transcending any of the content that comes into our logical mind on a day-to-day basis. And it's also worth remembering that, we are all interconnected through energies. There's a whole study in quantum physics about that. There's so much research out there now, it's amazing. And there's so much evidence to show that we are all actually interconnected through energies. And we all have access to things beyond the content of our logical mind, and also beyond our own personal capabilities. And we can access this through the utilisation of our conscious creative mind. And when we're able to do this, it's amazing how quickly we can tap into things, tap into different ways of being and doing in the world. It's quite surprising. So, as our unconscious mind begins to accelerate and amplifies, the conscious mind will do a thing called putting on the brakes. So what I'm basically saying here is that the more the conscious mind awakens and opens up, and you may have experienced this with the last trance, the more the conscious mind opens up and amplifies, the conscious mind will go into high alert and panic mode because it isn't used to this, and it'll kind of put what I like to say, it'll kind of put the brakes on. you'll kind of begin to experience maybe a resistance. And it can do this by creating symptoms, and the symptoms can be maybe feeling down, or, as I say, it could be a physical symptoms like getting headaches. When that happens, what I'd like to encourage you to do is to allow it to happen. Don't try to stop it. Just allow whatever comes up to come up and engage with it. Often when this happens, there's hidden resources here, resources that we're completely unaware of. Any resistance that we have, and however that manifests or shows up in our being, there is always a positive intention. Always a positive intention. And by resisting that symptom or that behaviour that manifests as a result, what we could be doing is we could be closing the lid to some deeper hidden resources. So what I'm going to be encouraging you to do over the next few weeks is to open up to the potential of the positive intention that's there. Allow it in. Engage with it. I kind of think it's our soul pushing through and attempting to get us to listen. It wants to be heard. It wants to be seen. This thing that you've been pushing back or resisting, you've possibly been doing for a long time. So over the next over the next 8 weeks, I'd really encourage you to allow it to happen. In whatever way you can, surrender and engage with it, and notice what the positive intention is of that symptom, that resistance. What is it trying to tell you? What is it showing you? What experience is it giving you? And tonight we're going to explore a small bit of that in the next step in our journey together. As long as opposites are being held, as long as two opposites are being held in a confrontational way, then there's always going to be a split. If you think about it like this, cognition plus feeling equals unitary knowing, and unitary knowing plus creativity equals infinite possibilities. However, primordial fear kicks in when you ask someone to surrender and drop into themselves, because most of the time we have no idea of what that might mean for us. And that's why we get this resistance. That's why we get symptoms that are pushed through by the cognitive mind for us to put the brakes on and to stop, to go into denial or do whatever it is. There's a nice quote that you'll read this in the handouts that you will all get at the end of this 8 weeks, and I'm going to read it out to you just now because I quite like this quote. It kind of explains the challenge that we have connecting with this conscious flow of energy that's within us and also beyond us. So, there is a stream of consciousness flowing within each of us that never ceases, nor diminishes, even throughout our years as self-aware creatures we become. In our everyday awareness, we can be consciously connected to the stream to the degree that we seek it out. And as we attend to the matter of nourishing the path, which connects it to us, there will be many different ways we can detect the stream. And there are also a limited, and this is also limited only by our willingness to be open. For some of us, it's simply a matter of persistent effort, and for others, it may be a struggle at first. So what I want you to do is to really hang in there and stick with it, because it will come. And you'll find that over time, you will be able to easily drop into this place with little or no resistance. So, how are we all doing? I'm just going to check in and see if there's any questions and or answers. And I'm just checking in also that everybody has actually managed to log in. And okay, let's have a little look here. Nope, nothing at all. That's excellent. You're all very quiet tonight. So, what I'd like you to do now is we're going to begin to move into our trance. So I'd just like you to take a few moments, and I'm going to be quiet for a moment, and I'd like you to take some time to connect in to your own intention, what it is that you would like to get out of tonight's generative trance. And I'm going to give your mind some, or rather I'm going to give your cognitive mind something to chew on while you're doing that, because I know our cognitive minds like to go away and analyse things, and it's good for us to humour that part of ourselves now and again. I must have one of the most analytical minds. It surprises me that I ended up doing this. My background is psychology and very scientific, so it amazes me that I ended up here. So anyway, so as you're figuring out what your intention is for tonight, for this generative trance that we're about to do, what I'd like you to do is to think about when you come up with your intention, I'd like you to use your cognitive mind, excuse me again, and think about that thing that you think logically is stopping you from achieving it. Don't analyse it too much, just notice what pops up into that conscious mind of yours. And yeah, we'll see what happens once you've gone into trance. Excellent. So, just take a few moments now to connect and just allow yourself to relax, finding your own place and in your own way to simply settle in and settle down. And allow yourself to take a few deep breaths in and out, simply relaxing. That's right. Really allowing yourself to settle in and settle down, finding your own space. And our bodies know how to relax. There's nothing we really need to do. As you focus on your breath, breathing in and breathing out, all the way down, taking whatever time that you need to find yourself in that space, in that moment. That's it. Really relax now. And then whenever you're ready, you can begin to imagine that pebble at the top of your head and begin to get a sense of it, its size and its shape, and maybe even its colour. Really becoming aware of it. And how you get a sense of that pebble holding your intention in whatever way it does. That pebble containing your intention, your desire, that thing that you'd really like to achieve right now, at this time. Being fully aware of that pebble, hovering gently at the top of your head, hovering gently and softly. And as you do, begin to become aware of your head and how it can easily relax. Being aware of all the muscles, top of your head, simply softening, releasing, relaxing now. And maybe you can begin to notice that wonderful feeling of relaxation beginning to spread down through your face and neck and shoulders, and anywhere else it begins to go. Simply allowing yourself to relax, but at the same time being aware of the pebble at the top of your head, your intention and your desire, and how that simply settles in there, that place, as your body relaxes, your shoulders and arms all the way down, that wonderful feeling. And there's nothing to do in the body except relax now. So focusing your attention back on your pebble that contains your desire, your intention, that thing that you'd so like to achieve. As you become aware of it, just notice that little space that opens up at the top of your crown, gently opening and ready to receive your pebble. And as the space opens, just imagine how you can allow your pebble to drop in and down into your cognitive mind, your thinking mind. Simply get a sense of how it does this. And how easily it begins to move, dropping in and down into your cognitive mind, finding its own centre, its own place of resonance. Maybe you get a sense or an idea of where it will go. Maybe you can see it dropping in and dropping down. So simply allow it to settle in and settle down. And there's nothing to cling to in the mind. And there's nothing to do in the body except relax now. Relaxing and allowing yourself to be here in the now with your intention settling into your conscious mind, your thinking mind, where all the work is done, where all the activities of the days play on and play on. Just allow it to relax there, easily and gently, as the rest of you simply softens, relaxes, and settles in and settles down. your intention and your desire in its own rest and space in your cognitive mind. And maybe you can allow yourself to drop a little more deeper into your own mind. Become aware of being present now, focused on this moment, aware of your breath, breathing in and out. And there's no effort required, just simply breathing, as your intention finds its own way and at its own rate and speed, its place in your own conscious awareness. And simply become aware of your head. And the muscles around your skull. And notice the shape or feel the shape or sense it. And how that little point at the base of your skull meets your spine. That tiny little bit, the very bottom, connects with your spine. Simply become aware of that connection now. And how your spine travels all the way down to your tailbone. Really become aware of that. Sense it and feel it and see it. And you could imagine that your spine is hollow inside. Just like a straw. And if you wished, you could breathe in and down through your own spine. In and down, taking your breath gently and easily. Breathing in and down. And as you do, just become aware of all the tiny vertebrae travelling up and down the very length of your spine on each side. Notice them, sense what they feel like in your own body, and maybe become aware of any that feel slightly out of alignment, and use your own breath to adjust each and every one of them so they align perfectly up and down your spine. Tiny imperceptible movements, ease gracefully and gently with your own breath. Just notice that in whatever way you can, whether you see it or sense it, or maybe you can hear the subtle noise of the changes in your spine, your body. And there's nothing to do in the mind. And there's nothing to do in the body except relax now. You know, a thought is just a thought. They can come and they can go as your intention, your desire simply rests in the very centre of your conscious mind as your body begins its own process of aligning with that space, that connection. So take your awareness back to your intention. Take it all the way back. And in whatever way you choose, whether you use your breath to sense the pebble moving, or whether you simply see it gently beginning to move towards the base of your skull and the opening at the top of your spine, that hollow space. Gently and easily begin to become aware of that intention contained within your pebble, moving and dropping all the way down, down, down through your spine, through that hollow, finding its own centre, its own resting place. And for some, that space will go all the way down. And for others, it won't need to travel far. Wherever that centre is, you'll simply be aware of it for you. So allow yourself to be guided by your own senses, by your own visions, and this inner knowing that when your pebble drops in and down, it will naturally, effortlessly and easily settle in and settle down into the very centre of your body, your somatic body, deep within your own unconscious mind, going all the way down your intention, your desire. And there's nothing to do in the mind. There's nothing to cling to in the mind. And there's nothing to do in the body except relax now. So allow yourself this moment now to really centre into that space. Centering into that space, finding your own resonance, your own inner connection. And really allowing yourself to become aware of your intention, your desire. And as you find yourself sitting here in this moment, aligning the conscious and unconscious mind, entering into your own somatic body, your own thinking mind, just imagine that you could hold your intention in your right hand. Somehow you can take that intention, that desire, and rest it gently in the palm of your hand. Simply hold it there, gently and easily, as if you were holding something of immense value, something precious, like a precious stone. You're holding your pebble, which contains your desire, your intention, that thing that you would so like to achieve in this world today. Hold it there, softly and gently, in the palm of your hand. Hold it with love and compassion, with tenderness, the very way you'd hold something of immense value, something so important to you, in a way you'd maybe hold a lover, a friend, or a child, someone or you love deeply, maybe your own inner child. Simply hold it there and notice what you notice. Sense and feel what you feel about this desire, about this intention. Really become aware of it and what it means for you in this moment, at this point in time, because no other time exists except now, in this place. And as you do, focus on this moment. You can ask yourself a little question. And it's a funny thing when we ask ourselves some questions. Often we go searching for the answers outside. Excuse me. But I'd like to invite you today to trust that all the answers that you will ever need to all the questions that you ask of yourself are contained deep within this place now. So simply ask the question, what stops me from achieving this intention? What stops me from achieving this desire, and really allow yourself to relax into that, becoming aware of anything that begins to pop up. Any knowledge or insights, any guidance, any symbols or feelings or senses. As you ask that question, what stops me? What holds me back? What keeps me from moving forward with my intention, my desire? And really let yourself trust whatever comes. It may not make any sense, and that's okay. Just notice what comes up in this deepest way, the symbolic way. When we are in this place, there's no logic or reasoning or analysing, simply a sense, an idea or a vision, just like in a dream. Nothing really connects, or maybe it will. For many people, answers come in different ways. And as you get a sense of that answer, or that information, or whatever it is for you, begin to imagine that you could take that knowing, that knowledge, that sense, and place it in your other hand. And I don't know how you'll do that. Whether you'll place an image that you've seen, or just get a sense of holding it there in your hand. But find your own way of placing that information, that wisdom, that other part of you in your hand now. And simply hold it there. Hold it gently and easily. Hold it with love and compassion, whatever it may be. Hold it in the same way as you would hold your lover, your friend, or a child, or your own inner child. Gently holding it with love and compassion, with trust, with a divine connection that's bigger than all things. Simply hold it there, resting gently. Your opposite, that part of you that's been waiting to be seen. Bringing it into your own light, into the center of your being. And as you hold both these parts of you, in one hand your intention, your desire, the thing that you so want to achieve in this world, and holding in its opposite, that thing that stops you, hold you back. Notice them both together, each with their own uniqueness, their own resonance, their own subtlety, their own beauty and divine nature. See them both, sense them both, and hear them both speak in their own language, in their own way. These two parts of you, these two halves that make a whole, brought together into the light. No resistance, simply an acceptance. I am this and I am that, both equally part of your own nature, of your own love and compassion, and see both things now in the dance of life, the energy that flows between the two, the deep connection, the flow of beauty between them. Bring them into the light so they can dance together in unity and harmony, in their own energy, with no resistance. And notice how, as you bring them together, they can begin to flow in a different way. They can begin to dance and sing their own song and weave their own magic, an awareness of so much more than now. You can begin to really expand your awareness and become aware of that quantum field, of infinite possibilities. As you open up to a wider connection, to an infinite field of possibilities, stepping out, taking both parts, your yin and your yang, into a field of abundance, of energy and vitality, a collective consciousness that flows like a stream, effortlessly and easily, and weaves its way to wherever it needs to go, transforming, changing all that's in its path. And as you step into that field of infinite possibilities, that quantum field, and allow your yin and yang, your two parts of you, to skip and dance in this cosmic field, where galaxies and universes exist, where there's a knowing at a deepest level, beyond all words, beyond all logic and energy, a resonance much, much deeper, your own connection to something powerful. So take a look around into your own quantum field, your own connections, and invite in new ideas and new resources, becoming aware of all that comes in this place, a unitary knowing, an awareness that's much bigger, an expansion that's already within you. You can step out anytime. And as you sit in this place, or walk or dance, skipping through your galaxies, dancing in the stars, simply ask for new resources, new information, new ways of living and being and doing in this world now, so you can transcend and transform beyond both these parts into something that's unknown but already known to you, where there's a choice but many choices. In this space, in this time now, feel the energy that flows as these parts awaken. Awaken to your own connection, to new realities, new paths, new guidance, new information that simply drops in. Information from the past, the present and the future all meet in this quantum field of infinite possibilities, infinite directions and paths. And maybe your own guides will step forward with new knowledge, with new wisdom, and wisdom of the ages can rise up, and knowing deep within yourself as you transform and transcend these two parts, these two halves. And there is no right or wrong. There is only this and there is only that. And as you awaken and allow this knowing into the deepest part of your being, aligning the three minds, your conscious and unconscious mind, and your creative spiritual mind, aligning them, transforming them, and transcending all realities so that new realizations can be made, new understandings. And I've no idea how these will be for you. You can simply rest and relax relax in this deep knowing. All is well. All is as it should be. And everything is unfolding and coming to you as you reach out and connect. In your conscious mind, your somatic body, and the infinite creativity and spiritual potential within you. Connecting, transcending all the parts, just like two ballerinas dancing, pirouetting, mirroring one another, each different, yet at the same time they are the same. Each unique and each connected to an abundant flow of energy that washes across their consciousness. And as the dance continues in your quantum field, you can begin to feel the winds of change transforming, realigning all these wonderful new experiences. Like new atoms being formed in the universe, containing a magic all of its own that only you know, that only you connect with and resonate with. Something inside is truly wakening up. It's being heard and it's guiding you to where you need to go. And all you need to do now is relax, because there's nothing to cling to in the mind, and there's nothing to do in the body except relax and allow the space to open up in whatever way is right for you, so you can receive all that you're ready to receive. So in your own quantum field of infinite possibilities, take a look around. Who's there? Who's come to meet you, to guide you? And who or whatever it is, simply take a look. Get a sense of them, their knowledge and their wisdom, yet your knowledge and your wisdom too, maybe a future you. And give thanks. Give thanks for all the resources, all the support in this quantum field of consciousness, this expanded place, your own inner galaxy, your own inner wisdom that belongs to you and connects you to all other things. So give thanks for the guidance and help and support. Give thanks in your own way, in your own language. And bring your awareness back to these two parts, back to your yin and your yang, that thing you so desire, and that thing that was stopping you. And notice the difference. Notice the difference now of how one can transform the other, and how they're pulled together now. Two energies becoming one. Draw them both in together, close, pulling both energies gently and easily. No resistance, just a natural flow, like the stream of consciousness, transforming in the process. Draw them gently and easily together to become one. And as you do this, draw them deep into your own being, your own body, to your own center, your somatic body, into your heart center. Draw them in with love and compassion. Draw them in with a tenderness of knowing that all things transform, all things change. Draw them in with love and beauty, and feel them resonate, transformed and changed in your being. There's no need to articulate, just have a knowing, a sense that spirit is wakened up, something's transformed. There's a new learning on a new level in a different way. And allow that to drop in. Drop in as one into the center of your being, your knowing. And as you do this, make a silent vow or commitment to yourself. I promise that whatever it is, from today, I commit to taking forward in this moment. Just make a vow or a silent commitment to yourself, and giving thanks again for the grace of this quantum field of infinite possibilities, for the resources, your own consciousness, your own alignment whether your conscious and unconscious mind, your creativity, and your own inner spiritual connection, giving thanks. Excellent. So just take a few moments to gently breathe in and out, and finding your own way to come back into the world, back into this reality, back into this field of consciousness, yet staying connected in a new way, in a different way. And as you wake up, so simply begin to waken up and come back again, and take a few moments to connect back into yourself and feeling good and relaxed. And now's a good time to just sit, take a drink of water, and find yourself back in this world. And maybe you would like to spend a few moments jotting down some of your experiences and just taking a note of them. Excellent. So I hope you enjoyed that session today, and just take it easy in the coming days and weeks, and simply notice whatever transforms, whatever comes up, and allow yourself just to enjoy that process. You can listen to this anytime again and repeat the exercise. And just do whatever feels right for you. And next week, what we'll be doing is building on this session and adding another aspect where you can take this intention, whatever it is, and it may be different next week or it may be the same, but you can take the intention out into a future you. So until next week, have a lovely, relaxing evening, and if you've got any questions or would like to share anything with me, please feel free to do so. You can get me on Facebook, or you can email me at avgil2008@hotmail.com. Okie doke, well, I'll speak to you all next week, if not some of you before. Take care, and yeah, just have a wonderful week and enjoy the weekend when it comes round. Speak soon. Bye.